Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, what a pleasure it is to welcome to Mid-Morning Magazine the host of Spooky South Coast, Tim Weisberg, who also with Matt Moniz provides some of the most fascinating entertainment and information on Saturday evenings. What time is the show?
10 o'clock every Saturday. We're on from 10 to midnight, just in time to make sure that we scare you too much to go to sleep.
That's right. So, Tim, the quintessential question is, I see ghosts. What can I do?
Well, if you do, then we need to bring them along with us on a paranormal investigation, because I haven't seen any.
However, the folks at TAPS have, and why do they find all the ghost places?
Well, for one thing, they have access that a lot of paranormal investigators can't get. They'll get into places with relative ease because being on television benefit the location. And a lot of these private houses that they investigate, the people are happy to let them come in because, whatever, they're looking for glory. But it seems to me, too, like they've got access to equipment that the common investigator might not be able to afford, like those thermal imaging cameras. And
yeah.
But, they're great guys. We know them all, and we've had some of them on the show. And I can tell you there's been a lot of controversy about their findings, but if you talk to them about it, they'll tell you that they believe what they found is 100% legit.
Oh, that's fabulous. Tim Weisberg, along with Matt Moniz, co-host Spooky South Coast tomorrow evening, 10 o'clock. What can we expect for a Halloween version of Spooky South Coast, Tim?
Well, we're very excited. This is the first chance we've had to actually be on Halloween, and usually this time of year the Red Sox are deep in the playoffs and we're getting bumped around, but not to be this year. And we're going to do a whole night of spooky ghost stories. Just everybody can come turn on the radio, kick back, relax after trick-or-treating, and we'll make sure that we make it real spooky for you.
That sounds fabulous. So you may have a good trick up your sleeve?
I think so, yeah. We've got something planned.
And in the meanwhile, folks, can they contact you, Tim, if somebody has ideas that perhaps a place is haunted, or have, give us a sense of how do folks get a hold of you if they have information about this stuff?
Well, if you definitely have a recommendation for investigation, get a hold of me at tim@SpookySouthCoast.com. And we don't always go out and do the investigations ourselves. There's a number of local groups that we work with, like Dartmouth Anomalies Research Team and Berlin City Ghosts, and we might pass it off to them. They'll go out and conduct the investigation. If it turns out to be something that's worthy of bringing to the airwaves, we're never afraid to do that, as long as the owner of the property is in agreement.
Yep, absolutely. By the way, why don't you explain what paranormal means?
Well, paranormal, it sounds like it's something scary or something spooky, but really all it is anything outside what's known to be normal. And because there's no definitive proof of the existence of, say, ghosts or UFOs or Bigfoot, it falls under the category of paranormal. But a lot of the work that different groups are doing, we're getting closer and closer through scientific methods and scientific reasoning that proving that stuff does exist.
How did a Standard Times newspaper sports writer and columnist segue into ghost hunting?
Actually, it kind of called toward me when I was younger, in my early teens. My aunt and uncle lived in a haunted house, and I had some experiences there, and that made me really curious to find out more. And I just had the opportunity to get on WBSM through my sports work, and I pitched the idea of the show to them, and Pete was more than willing to give me a shot, thinking, hey, it's Saturday nights, and it's a good time to talk about ghosts. So it worked out well, and now through the connections we've made through the show, I've been able to actually go out there and experience stuff more. And I went from being somewhat skeptical, even at 12, 13, 14 years old, and now I'm completely convinced.
Have you ever met a ghost or been in the presence of a ghost?
I've had all kinds of things happen, everything short of it actually materializing in front of me. I've been knocked around, pushed downstairs, choked, pushed up against walls. I've heard growls that happened in thin air. And most recently at Gordon's house, I saw what's called a shadow person, which is an outline, a humanoid outline, that's actually darker than the darkness behind it, and it's just a shadow moving around, and it stopped and it looked at us, and we looked at it, and then it took off, and we chased it from room to room for a while. So that's probably the closest I've come to actually seeing one, but I've heard them and felt them numerous times.
Why am I getting goosebumps, Mr. Weisberg?
I can tell you, man, every time we're in that studio, something weird happens. And
thanks.
We had to have somebody come and actually perform a clapping on the studio before, and it worked for a little while, but I think the ghosts might be back.
Well, I had Father Bevis in here. He blessed the room, so that's all I can say. Listen, we're going to look forward to having you and Matt entertain us tomorrow night starting at 10 o'clock right here on WBSM for Spooky South Coast, and many, many surprises coming tomorrow night with Tim. And I want you to make it a point to come on Mid-Morning Magazine anytime you wish.
Hey, I'll definitely take you up on it.
All right, my buddy. We'll get together soon, all right?
Sounds good. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you, Tim. And once again, that's tomorrow evening, 10 o'clock, Spooky South Coast.